get out, get a little exercise a day. So you can see we get two types of workout. We go to the office, we work out, we've got equipment over there, and then we go over to we got the home front, which we can't show you because again, I've had some, actually we do have stalkers on our channel, so we had to get that mess taken care of. But anyway, so we're going to get some exercise today. Got a beautiful day in Allentown early in the morning, as you can see. Beautiful, beautiful day in the neighborhood. Early in the morning. I have no idea how hot it's going to be today. All I know is it's really cool. It's actually much cooler than what it was. Actually a little bit warmer than it was yesterday. Yesterday was cold, man. It was cold yesterday. Which is interesting because it's August. Anyway, God does what he wants to do. N1 sneaker store. I've been there one time. I don't buy any sneakers out of there ever. I think we wear the different type of sneakers. All right. And because there's less people out here, I can show you more. Because you got to have it down. This is a really busy section right here. High-rise buildings over there. That's the big PPL building. Which for some reason I thought it was taller. But you can see that thing anywhere in Allentown, I'll tell you that much. It kind of reminds me of the William Penn of Philly. Because in Philly, William Penn was the tallest building. And then they started building all these other buildings around William Penn. And the curse started. So those you don't know, if you've been in Philly, you know about that Philly curse. Which was broken because we won some championships. But if you built any building higher than William Penn, the city got cursed. Yep, and we lost every game after that. Every single game we lost. Can't do anything about it. It's a skyscraper there. And then the curse was broken when the Phillies won the championship. And there on in, we just kept winning. Well, you know how it goes. We did win last year. You know, Eagles did win, so, you know, But anyway, so, yeah. So that right there, they're going to turn that into condos pretty soon. That's going to be turned into condominiums. This over here, I don't know what this building was over here, but I think that's part office space. They did talk about apartments in there, but it looks like it's going to be all offices in there. But then I see people coming out there with dogs. So maybe they allow you to have your dogs in there too. Oh, I never stood and saw from this side. I never look over there. There is spiral staircases and all that stuff in there. So I guess there is apartments in there. Apartments and offices in there. All right, let me see. Over here. We have Plaza, moving now. Yeah, there is apartments in there. So they did apartments in here, and they did office space in here. That's what they did. But they're going to turn this into luxury condos. So as we're talking, I wonder who's going to get the top. Because man, that's the penthouse up there. Boy, it's going to probably cost so much money. Boy, I wonder how they're going to work out the elevators in there. And they're going to have to definitely do something with the windows. But then again, you can't touch the windows because it's a historical building. So you can only do so much with it. So the outside is going to have to stay the same. See over here, we got these big wide windows in here. These are luxury when you have large windows in there. But in here, you got the smaller windows. You can't change the infrastructure because this is a historical building. So they have to leave it the way it is. So, they'll figure it away. But anyway, still freaking cool. All right, so Dunkin' Donuts over here, which I think I've only been in twice. I don't go in there for anything. Mostly, maybe a donut here or there. That's basically what I did. I got to stay away from their stuff. I'm addicted to their stuff. But anyway, the breakfast food I don't eat because I don't eat eggs like that. That's a lot of fried food. I try to stay away from fried foods as much as possible. When I make my ham and cheese sandwich, I keep explaining to them, don't fry it. They fry it anyway. All that butter was on it. I didn't get a chance to enjoy the sandwich. Threw it out. Because they put a lot of butter into it, and I can't eat that stuff. That'll make me sick. I've seen her before. I've seen everybody before. She's on the other side with that bike. I'm actually pretty fast. Now, if you're traveling from A to B on an e-bike, hey, knock yourself out. But if you're on there talking about you're exercising on an e-bike, no. I'm not exercising on an e-bike. Ooh. That's a pretty cool looking cabinet. What are you selling? I've never actually been in this window before. 60 bucks, that's not a bad deal. Oh, look at that, $130? Oh, we're gonna have to pop up in here. Yeah, they got some nice stuff in there. I like that. That's me. That's definitely me. That is definitely me right there. Oh, that'd be fantastic for my cardboard projection screen setup. So I gotta start popping these places more often. That's pretty nice. I like that. That's definitely me right there. That's definitely me. Over there we have lots of places to eat here. Over there we have the music hall. They just put this in. Over there, that's the caring place where I was at, you know, where you trolls did all that dirty stuff at the end of the day. For those you don't know, I'm going to mention your name on camera. Yes, we are, because you did stuff you shouldn't have did. We had Daniel McAfee. We had Jamie Fernando Gonzalez of Pro 1176. Especially him. Went over and attacked the poor woman in that building over there, threatening her to try to get them to release me from that building because they were mad because we were doing demonstrations in there. And it was making them look bad because you can't come on your YouTube channel and make false accusations that our products don't work if we're in an environment that's showing off that they do work. And that's why he went in and threatened that woman. As I said before, Fernando, that what's coming your way is so well deserving. So well deserving what's coming his way. So yeah, he's going to pay for it, trust me. It's so well deserving. So bottom line is, I had to call some people in to get that situation taken care of. It's been already done. Yep, already been taken care of. So he's got to pay for what he did. You want to threaten people at the end of the day? No problem. Especially a woman like that who takes the time to help people out, people who don't have food in their stomachs, people who have no place to go. They can go there and they can eat. She's a very good Christian woman. And you went and threatened that woman's life. So again, your time is coming very soon. Now you find yourself in a third world country working in a slave camp. You deserve it. You do. You definitely deserve it. And that's where you're going. All right, let's move on to our beautiful day. Let's see. All new apartment complexes. They build these things way too fast. I actually watch when they put these things together. I come from old school when you build stuff out of concrete. But these things, man, I would never buy a brand new house, ever. I'm scared to death. I am, because they don't build them strong. I want something with, that's why people get a house built. They build a house with a concrete structure, not freaking plywood and insulation and stuff like that. But she really don't like her job. That woman is probably sour. Sour can be smile. Life could be far worse than that. It could be far worse than that. You still breathing? No matter how bad your day may be, you're still breathing, ain't you? Look at the giant Hello Kitty. I'm gonna get that for one of my friends. Get her a giant Hello Kitty. She's a big fan of Hello Kitty. I'm gonna get her one for her birthday. So on my website, I am going to put a section in there for a Christian advertisement. It's free. You can post in there. My site that gets the heavier hits would be the where the Crystal Ridge site, because it's been there the longest. It has a much more powerful search engine in it. It gets a ton of visitors that come in and out that site. And we don't even sell anything on the site anymore. It's an info site now. So it gets a ton of people that come in and off that site. So we'll advertise for you too. They got to be out here. I'm going to, once that my friends start working on the site, we're going to be advertising that site and we're going to post it everywhere. So when we go to expos and stuff, it's going to be there. So Christians, hopefully if you're good Christians, because we do not promote the wolf in sheep's clothing. So I will look at your church, because again, I don't want all that on my site. I really don't. Seen some churches today, very disappointing. All right, people, we're already halfway there. Told you walk doesn't take that long. I want to see how long it would take us from the office from here. How long does it take? My counter's on, hopefully. Counter's on. So let's see what we got. And yeah, I'm at 24% on my phone because Cat got in a fight. So here we are right now. Not trying to do anything strenuous. This is just basically my normal walk. So from the FBI building all the way up here. So this is a normal everyday walk, which everybody does literally every day. Anyone's walking back and forth through here, chances are they're coming from probably way back there, somewhere in there. That's what I noticed about Allentown. Everybody up here walks a lot, which is fantastic. You'll see some people driving a little bit here and there, as if you have to go to the outskirts, maybe go to some of the stores they have out there, then you'll be out there. But most of the time, if you're within the city, ain't no point freaking walking. Sorry, driving. And some people have e-bikes because they're picking up stuff, picking up groceries and stuff like that. They can sit back and forth. On top of that, saves money on gas if you drive. Looking forward to the wintertime. Wintertime comes when we're doing this one with the heavy pack because they'll give me more resistance. Yeah, beautiful. Our area here is beautiful. I love it out here. That's a beautiful, beautiful. What was a home they converted to a business. But look at that. Look at the architecture structure with that right there. Little round windows. Kind of has that kind of like Hobbit look to it. Is that the church going off? Up there's the church. I told you I had an uncle, he's passed away a long time ago. He fought in World War II. And he would tell me that in some of the places where they're fighting at, they come across these towns that are war torn, and you would every once in a while stumble into a nursery or see kid toys and stuff like that, and it would hit really hard. Oh, thank you. Because you know, the people aren't the enemy at the end of the day. It comes down to the people of power. They would be the enemy. They're the ones who trigger these wars. They could stop them. There's ways to stop wars. And so I guess in some ways, I need to think about it, depending on what you're dealing with. Side. Both parties could stop wars, but they won't. Because it becomes about pride, money, pretty much, control. That's what it comes down to. And then the sad thing about it is the soldiers in between are the ones who take the pain. And their families. Now some of these guys, they've been through it too. Some of these people who are up there pulling the string for these wars have also served too. They're decorated generals and captains and stuff like that. They've done their time, they know. But he said every once in a while, you don't talk about it much. Once in a while you stumble across a town and you'll see that. And you remind yourself that you had kids. And imagine what they're going through and why you're there. It's messed up. Some of those things like that, small stuff like that, will leave imprints in there forever. I remember a guy was talking about how when they have those drones that go out and they never really see the aftermath of the damage they cause. One guy said he actually got a peek at the damage those things caused, and he couldn't do it anymore. He couldn't be responsible for taking out targets that weren't really the targets that were supposed to be taken out. Sometimes they lie. Sometimes they say there's something there when actually there isn't something there. It could be a school there. It could be something there. They consider it to be collateral damage. You find out that you literally dropped a bomb on a school, kids, because they said there was a target there and there was nothing there. That's gonna be pain. Yep. So people who go through all that, then they hope you find God, I really do. I hope you get released of your demons. Hope you find peace. Somebody's kid left their chicken on the car. I had that same chicken. I really had that same chicken. I'll actually have that same exact chicken. Well, if they ever lose it, they never get it back, they can have mine. Which is weird, because I don't mind sitting in a box somewhere in storage. We're almost near our point. Our area. Just a nice park up here. I think I'm going to take a walk through the park too, so I can beef up some time with this timer. It's nice and cool, so that's fantastic. Unlike a couple days ago, Lord willing, it's like the Sierra Desert out here. So this is where I used to live at. This is Union Street, 15th and Union Street, way up here. I like that house over there. That house reminds me of the Addams family's house. We'll get to it in a few minutes. It's interesting, I was basically right down the street. Like right down the street, more like if we go down here to the end of the block and cut over, right down, I went to cars in here, right down the area back there, that's where the apartments are at. So, that reminds me of the Addams house. So if I had walked up here, I'd have found me a park. I didn't know. And mind at the time, we didn't know if we had the technology to record out in sunlight. We didn't know it. I mean, I had it back then, but it was a test formula. We really didn't look too much into it. Kind of put it on the back burner. That's what happened. So when I brought it up here to put it in the window and it pushed through, I was just thinking of using it as a form of, window advertising technology. That's what I was going to use it for. So because we had a 5200 lumen projector, we had it inside, it was operating. I used 4,000 lumens. It didn't read. It wouldn't read through 4,000. First we brought in 3,000. 3,000 wouldn't read. And 4,000 wouldn't read. Which was interesting because the first tests were 4,000s. So I figured, all right, we basically made it less powerful than the other one. So I figured out how we did that one. So at least that 42 would be good. But we're at 52 at the time we're at the building. And in between, when I was back at the office, now years later at the office, and mind, we had 52 inside, covered up. So basically back at the office, when I sat in the middle of the floor and I said that if I'm all these things, may the Lord out me, may he expose me to everyone, which I didn't make that statement. I'm gonna let them go. So I said, and when I made that statement, right there in that particular time is where our technology went to the roof. Right there. Because again, my Lord's not going to be outed as a liar. He's not going to allow people to come in and make statements by saying that, well, I'm going to leave my Christian hanging. Oh, he's jamming. So my Christian comes out and my servant comes out, my Christian comes out, and he announces me as his Lord and Savior. He puts his faith in me. He trusts me. And I'm going to let him come out there and be thrown out to the wolves. Like when you saw the wolves trying to attack the lamb, I'm going to allow him to be attacked? No. My Lord had my back, as he always has my back. He came out there and basically showed our technology advancements, which means I have the ability to go anywhere I want with that technology, which I proved. I backed up myself. I backed up my Lord's blessings. I went where I wanted to go, all over downtown, right? There you go. Did it in direct sunlight at 50 lumens? Did I not? I did all that, right? Okay then. So that means that the 5200 hit that we had in the carrying place, basically, we couldn't get a 3000 or 4200 lumen projector to read off of it. But when I made that statement to my Lord, now we got a 50 lumen projector to operate on it outside in direct sunlight, which shows you that the Lord went in and not only young Christians and Christians, look at this, not only basically showed the world and all the haters out there at the end of the day that he is real, but my blessings are real. We have a massive jump. All of our stuff is jumped. Our screen paints are doing things that I've never seen them do. Lord has blessed our technology to beyond belief. And all doors are open to us. When I go into an establishment, all doors open up for us. Now, so much more if the Lord is going to come in and show the blessings of his servants. Is so much more when his servants come to him and say, Lord, I have a problem with this individual. This is who he is. I put him in your hands. How much more he's going to seek and find you. So there's no place to go. There's no place to go. There's no YouTube account. Nothing you can hide. There's no way you can go. You can't hide from God. So when I talked to that guy, I was on the phone carrying on. What did I say to you? I prayed it in the blood of Jesus, because I knew you were letting the devil use you. And I went in and I put you in God's hands. You'll see your life change real soon. And people say, oh, but that it's not. It'll change on how the Lord wants to change it. I don't know what's going to happen. I can't tell you. I can't tell you. But I can tell you one thing. He's going to learn he's going to have a very interesting experience. Very interesting experience. The Lord works in different ways. He really does. Oh, this is the park I was telling you about. How quiet it is. It's a beautiful park. I saw a guy over here I met. He has two big dogs. His German Shepherd. I don't know what the other dog is, like an all-white dog he has. And he had the dog trained that when he's on a bike, the dog runs away from the bike, and both him and the dog, he was moving, that dog was out. The dog powers the bike. So he says it's an easier way of walking him, because he likes to run. So he just runs all over this place. Like he just runs around, and he just moves the bike with him. It's the coolest thing I've ever seen. Yeah, real beautiful place. I had no idea this park was here. I had no idea. It's right down the street from where I was at. I had no idea it was here. My sister knows this place. She said, you haven't been to the park yet? I said, what park? You keep talking about this park. I don't see it. It's a park out here. Come out here, I haven't seen it. And one day I was walking around out here, and I saw the park, and I was like, oh, snap, there's a park out here. Yep. Man, I kept been coming out here and relaxing. People come out here to walk, jog, stuff like that, exercise, because it's nice and quight. Now mind you, where we just came from. We just came from the FBI building. So we walked all the way up here from the FBI building. I'm gonna get some good clocking on this. I'm gonna get some good time on this. And am I tired? Nah. I usual same old stuff I do. Normal, same old stuff. Mom, we got a full day of work today. We got a full day of work. And this is what we like to do. This is where I like to relax. Oh, wintertime, it's gotta be beautiful up here. There's the bell over there. Check it out. It's not the actual. Is it the actual bell? Because we got one in Philly. Well, I'll put a soda can up on the bell. See? That's the reason why I tell you. It's right there, the bell. Put a can of cigarette next to it. That's messed up. So this park is pretty interesting. Look how far it dates back. 1890. Wow. Is that Roosevelt? It is. No. Is how was he taxer? So what was he? Civil business leader. Oh, interesting. Look how they dressed back then. That is so cool. That's so classy. Very classy. Oh, so that fountain is, we missed it. It's over there. We got to go back over there to that fountain right there. That's the fountain over there. Wow, look at this. Can you imagine this? This is what blows me away about history. There's the building right there. All these people right here. Look at all these people right here. At one point, these people were alive. Maybe the kids are definitely have to be alive, definitely. They're actually older, but the older ones are all probably passed away by now. But they had big shows here, right here in this area right here. And now this is all no more. People took pictures by these fountains. That's why I say you come by buildings and you see stuff like this, you don't know who was there long before you. This is 1913 to 1914. It's all about history. You never know who was standing at the same spot you were standing at. And now that generation is past and gone, and a new generation takes his spot. Soon our generation will be the same way. If the Lord does not come back by then, our generation will pass away and a new generation will stand in the very same spot. So where I'm sitting at right now, I'll be gone. Somebody else will be standing in the same spot generations from now. Isn't that interesting? The only difference is we have technology. We can really record our past. And that's what I'm doing right now. This is what you're doing. Every time you pull a camera out, you're recording your past. That's what you're doing. It's documented. You gotta make me a time capsule now. Time capsule. I was cracking this joke about how we should, and that's the building right there. That's the hall where all these people were at before they had these benches up here, that right over there. I was talking about how time capsules, how we should just put jacked up stuff in there. So people open them up and like, the freak was going on in the freaking past with these people. Like, was in the last one, some guy was doing time capsules and he's putting them all over his area so people can find them. I was like, I wonder if somebody we should just, from this time, everybody should just put jacked up stuff in capsules. So people in the future were like, what the freak went on with these people? Like, like a box of doll heads, one boot, a fire extinguisher, and a case of cream corn. I'm gonna bury one of those somewhere around here somewhere. I'm gonna bury me a time capsule. Just gonna have some crazy stuff in there. I'm just gonna put a little thing in there that says, God is amazing, have fun. That's simple and plain, But yeah, all these spots. Look at the bands they had out here. There's the band. This is the ladies' band right there. That was in 1915. These are the big bands they had out here. They had big plays and shows and did musicals right over there. Right over there. Can you believe that? That would explain why it's so curved in there, because the acoustics. That would explain the way it is. I'm gonna go over there. Oops. Oh, to keep it on the path. The whole Pac-Man thing. Now they have cameras out here. This is all police cameras. Like this right here, that's police. So those units right there, police monitor those. For those people think at the end of the day there's nobody on those cameras, there are, trust me. There's somebody who sits in the booth, they have something, where it's cyber cops, that's what they are. And they sit in the booth and they just sit in there watch all day long. Just like if you did security, same thing. Sit from the booth all day long. Yeah, so this is the unit right here. See how it's still in shape? Because of the acoustics, the sound had to be incredible in there. We'll do a little test one day. We'll take a speaker system, we'll go in there and play it there, and then we'll take it out here. You'll see it's a big difference in the sound. Yep. They still do. They still have music in there. They still have bands that come up here and play. Just imagine that. Kind of reminds me of BioShock. It reminds me of that. I like BioShock. BioShock was in that kind of era. People come out there and they watch the bands and the music play. 1900s. That's why when you move into a house, you gotta pray over it, especially if it's an older house. Even if it's a newer house, you don't know what's on the land. Gotta pray over it. Because you never know who is there, who's still there. Now, as I said before, I don't believe in ghosts at all, period. I believe in, at the end of the day, that things do come back, but things come back in a different form because it allows that host to be there. And a better way of putting it, that you can't, ghosts don't exist because the soul goes back to God, where it belongs, and the body goes back to the dust in which it belongs. But if that area was a place of evil, that means demons will go there, because that's a place where they can host. That's why. And that's what you bring back, where it comes back. That's why you have to pray over places, because you never know what went on. That person could have studied witchcraft there. The person studied witchcraft and they died. Well, God decides where they go from there. And then things should come back to that place, because it's a place where they can host. There it is. That's the fountain. That's where you saw the little girl sitting right here. Right there, sitting over there. Or somewhere they were sitting at. So all this is historical. And it's the maintenance. That's the door for the maintenance, so they can get in there and work on whatever plumbing or what's going on down there. It's a beautiful fountain right there. And that's been there for that long. That long, for centuries. It's been there for centuries. Can you imagine that? All those people that were out here walking around, having picnics, out here with their kids and stuff, no more. That's what I liked about the game, kind of BioShock. Because in BioShock, you would go in certain levels and you would see the people, like the ghosts would come back and they would reenact that environment all over again. So that's what I kind of liked about that. It's just interesting, you know, because you don't see that reenactment. Like that guy does the Ghost Hunters. Boy, he's playing with his life. He is playing with his life. He really is. I never watched that show. Because those are demons you're hearing in the background. I don't entertain it. Entertain that. You entertain whatever's coming into your place. Nice little monuments over here. Guy comes out here from the fairgrounds and they clean up this whole area. Cut the grass and everything. Let's walk over here. I'm going to go back over there right now. This is a nice place to come out and walk. It's beautiful. Monuments right here. Military Order, Purple Heart, Lehigh Valley Chapter. This tree is dedicated to our departed patriots, August the 7th, 1990. Yep. Planted this tree in their honor. And here we are today, it's still here. Beautiful. Wow, look at the yeah, most people will walk past this and don't realize what they're looking at. This is an antique. They don't make them like this anymore. This is actually from that era. We saw 1900s. That's from that era. The only thing they did was they changed it out because now they had to do some updating for it. They're not gas anymore. They used to be gas. Nice little back passage through those. Pretty beautiful. That's gonna be gorgeous when it snows. There's the maintenance unit. Oh, it's the bathroom. Oh, so somebody else up the bathroom. And water fountain. Remember when you were a kid and you used to drink from these things at the end of the day? You wouldn't do it now, would you? Now they gotta lock the bathrooms now. You know why? Because drug users go in there and they abuse it, of course. I literally could have just went back the same way I came, which I did not go. I went across the dirt. Jeez. I swear, Pathfinder. I checked my sneakers up, probably so. All right, let me see. Go back around here. They got lock it now, you know. People don't know how to act right. Well, I can't say it that way. I can say that they're captured. That's the sad thing about it. I put it that way, they're captured. They need to be released. They need to find God. There's a monument over there. I think by the time we walk around this park and we go back up, we should reach probably about 6,000, 7,000 steps by then. There's statues over there. Beautiful statue, D-Day. Yep. Now that's the monument. I'm going to show you that. We're going to pass this monument pretty soon. We're going to walk over to it. I'm going to show you this monument. This is where all these guys are sitting at right now. This is in Allentown. Remember the Allentown heroes. So that's what that statue is for. Wow, look at this. Can you imagine that? These are soldiers. These are soldiers right here? Let me see. No, these are soldiers on the train right here. That's the Allentown National Guard to action, France during World War I. Yeah, World War I. My uncle was in World War II. And that was September the 10th, 1917. These are guys are going to war. Look at that. When you look at the advancement we have today, these guys didn't even have all that. They didn't have automatic machine guns and drones and all that stuff. The firepower we have today, these guys were going in pretty much with nothing. Gotta have respect for that, a lot of respect. Yeah. I couldn't imagine that. You see, I got family members, I said, that are military, and I look at some of the stuff they wear in battle. I was like, good gracious, you guys are wearing like your armored vehicles. All that equipment, machinery, technology, and these guys had none of that. They still went and fought wars, and they won. Look at this tree. How beautiful that tree looks. They planted all these trees here. Oh, wait, I'm going to show you the park. What it looks like before the trees were here. This is an interesting tree. This is a tree that you would find in one of those enchanted movies. This is a tree like so. Look at that. They call it the Great Tree. On your quest, you will come across the Great Tree, and the Great Tree will give you the knowledge to take out the Dark Lord. That's what it looks like. You'll start from there, and you'll have to fight your way all the way through here, through thick woods and giants and ogres. This is what the park looked like before they planted any of the trees down. So you see all these trees were small trees, and now these trees are full-size trees now. But this is what it looked like before. Way back then, and this was in 1906. This is the founder of the park right there. Wow, man. And now I'm walking through it. Like I said, I would have never thought that in that particular time, that what generation would be walking through this park. Well, as any taller, I clipped that tree. Right there. People come to a park, they run through, you know. They don't really think about the people who sat in these benches and walked the same path that you walked. Sat out in the grass, family members and friends, had picnic lunches, and, you know, enjoyed each other's company. down through centuries. 60s, 70s, 80s. Yep. Well, 80s were still here, you know what I mean? Think about that. But you think about 1900s, man, you know, that generation's gone. So, yeah. All right. We are going to go straight down here. I got to walk up this way, because this is going to lead us back to where we're at. And this would be going to my old apartments, which means if I had walked up this hill, straight up, I'd hit that park. I never went past this point. I always stayed on this side, mostly because I just turned and went down there. That's all I did. There's actually a large parkway down here that I found out later on when I was going to the smoke shop to do work over there. It's a large park over there. Oh, that's the guy who walks his dogs with the bike. Awesome. He's got 2 German Shepherds too? Wow. You're the guy who walks with the bike, right?
Yeah.
Yep. How many dogs do you have?
4.
4? Man, dogs are beautiful, man. Beautiful.
Mom,
Wow.
that's the son.
Wow, that's beautiful. German Shepherds?
Yeah.
Beautiful, beautiful. All right, you have a good day. That's the guy who walks with the bike. That is incredible. That's all. That's like, I could have been walking my dogs that way. He hasn't trained to it, runs to the bike. He has 4 of them. Wow. Got 2 German Shepherds. I had to make sure which ones they were, because his German Shepherds, they might have been young. They didn't have the heavy black coat. Some had the heavy black coat, more of the heavy black coat, and then it reaches into tan. Those are kings. And then some of them, the ones that have real short hair, the short hair ones that are tan, they could be Belgian. I forgot my sister what hers is. Hers is tan, short, but that's all one. It was all black too. Not all black one was Belgian. That was black one was Belgian. That was a different one. It had less tan, but it had more black and with short hair. It was German Shepherd. No, it's not German Shepherd, it's Belgian. So I thought German Shepherds were just all from Germany. There's different types of these shepherds. All right. We're on the way back. You see how that guy's on the bike over there working out on the bike? That's how you have to do it, Mr. Williams. But right now, that's not your problem right now. There's bigger problems than that. But that's what you should have been doing. You should have been on a manual bike riding around. You'd have lost that weight no time at all. Manual bike will make you work for it. I miss the days of the BMX bikes, the freaking chopper handlebar bikes with the long banana seats, and all your friends would all get together. And you watch those memes, like you would know where all the kids were at by the pile of bikes you see on someone else's lawn. Yep. I'm going to stay here for a minute because I want to sit here and talk for a little bit. So at least right now, it's not too hot, but the cats and allergies, whatever that was back there, caught me pretty good. So my place would have been, if I went straight down here and I turned up, it'd have been right about right there, where that building's at. That's would have been right there. They just built that. They just put that there. That's new. So yeah, it'd have been right there. That's what it would have been at. Woo. After all this, guess what we feel like doing? Push-ups! Push-ups, people. Push-ups. So we're going to walk it all the way back down, and then I'll start my day. Just came from there, so we turned up that way on that side. Now we're going back down this side over here. That's the courthouse over there. I'm going to share how short the distance, literally, they were at. I told you, all God's power at the end of the day. All God's power at the end of the day. Because the first time, their office was, I don't know where it was at, and they didn't show up. For those of you who know, that's the apartment complex I was at with Julian Apartments that tried to mess my credit up and pad my bill on trying to make me pay more than I was supposed to pay. And they'll come up and tell a bunch of lies. But see, when you're protected by the Lord ain't gonna let that happen. Nope. let it happen. You can't go anywhere, you can't do it. We're going to shut that down in a minute when it comes to his people. So anyway, that's where the building's at. Mind you, the building is right there, right? Now, the first one is a little farther out, but still, they didn't show up. And that's what ticked off the judge the first time. Oh, we got heat and we got cool breeze. Man, it's a perfect combination. Thank you, Jesus. Perfect combination. Yesterday was way too cold. And the day before that was too hot. This is perfect. It's like, what do you call it? It's like, what's the word for it? It's like the Three Little Bears. About the porridge. It's perfect. Yeah, here they got their bikes. Riding around. Enjoy, gentlemen. Safe journey. Always safe journey when you're on bikes. Please wear helmets, please. I know people at the end of the day talking about we don't gotta wear helmets. Trust me, your head bounces off that concrete. I wish you wore a helmet. I've had head injuries before. Those things are no joke. You hit the wrong thing, man. A lot of things can go wrong in your head for a very long time. Now, I went through that windshield of that car, and I was just walking. I got hit by a car, and it took 10 years for me to get feeling back in the left side of my face. I still have fragments of glass floating around in my face. Every once in a while, one of them pop out. And they can't remove them. It's just too much. So, yeah, the headaches, the migraines, the freaking blurry vision, all that stuff. Yeah, your head's a very, 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 very interesting part of your body. So, long story short, wear helmets. Because you may think at the end of the day that I'm a good driver. You can be the best driver in the world. You can be the best rider in the world. But you got plenty of people out there that are not. Somebody turn that corner and catch you, you're going over the handlebars. There's no seatbelts on a bike. None at all. Which I can't find out why there are no seatbelts on a bike. I'm just curious about that one. Why is there no seatbelts on a bike? See, I gotta look that up. I gotta figure out why seatbelts are not on bikes and why the inside of refrigerators are not different colors. Welcome to my world. But anyway, yeah. So that's you. The only thing that's keeping you on your bike is your hands on the handlebar. And enough force can throw you off of that. So guess where you're going? If you hit something, you're going airborne. And if you come down, you're definitely, depending on how fast you're going and how fast you're going to be thrown, depends on how you're going to ragdoll it. And mind, while you're ragdolling it, see all these utility poles, cars, all this stuff in the way, you slam one of these things in your back, shoulder, arms, and you'll snap something easy. That's how fast you can get messed up. But at least, you know, that's better than striking your head. Because you can survive that. But if you smack your head on one of these poles at the end of the day, you're done. That's why the helmet is very important. People said it blocks my field of view. Not anymore, they don't. I went to a bike shop with a friend of mine, put them helmets on. I was like, oh my God. It's like Call of Duty in this dick. They got all kinds of readers and sensors and freaking Bluetooth now. And they got the visors coming on. They go in night mode. I'm like, what the freak? And then you got the cool part. You get to carry your helmet around. Everybody knows you got a bike. Like, yeah, baby, it's my bike right here. Got my helmet right here. Also, too, not to tell you this when you should know this, but a bike helmet is a weapon. You can use it to defend yourself with it. If you know how to use it correctly, heck yeah. Somebody tries to attack you, grab your helmet. Protection for protection. Bow! Yeah. You can use it as a weapon. It's better than that than carrying something in there that'll get you in trouble. You can't go to jail for hitting somebody with a bike helmet. Just don't hit them in the head with it. You aren't going to jail. But anyway, yeah, you should wear a helmet. Because again, people don't understand the philosophy of basically when it comes to gravity in your head bouncing off the asphalt and smacking usually one of these objects, they'll kill you. And I have brothers that were bikers, and they're always breaking something. But they wore a helmet. They wore a helmet. Yep. Even worst case scenario, you run the risk of hitting somebody else's car who's driving. So, you don't wear a helmet? Welcome to the world of Final Destination. And I get that all the time. I'm like, fantastic. Yeah, you could be good. Yeah, I understand that. But that vehicle right there outweighs your vehicle by a lot. And people like to make turns without hitting their flashers. They never put them turn signals on. They turn. How are you supposed to know this? Yep. So yeah, wear a helmet, please. So you can be around every day for your family and your friends. People care about you. Don't wear it for yourself, wear it for your people. There used to be one point where people were screaming about, hold on for a minute, I got just my pants here. A very long walk, I like to adjust myself. There are people who were talking about they didn't want to wear a helmet because it was considered an act of freedom. Oh, you can get some freedom, all right. You basically smack something on that ground without that helmet on, you're going to get freedom, all right. You're going to separate your soul from your body. Wear the helmet. All right, so we're pretty much halfway through. As you see, it's a lot more busier now. So we'll check the meter when we get to the other end and see exactly where we're at. I can never understand how people get that close to people from the bed. Right behind me, like literally right behind me. Right behind me. I never understood that part. I never got close to people like that. That's what people are trying to be weird. You gotta stop doing that, man. You mess around. See, that's what I said. People are trying to be weird and creepy. You walk up behind somebody that close, and if I turn my head, my peripheral vision, I can literally see the top of your head to the bottom of your waist. You are freaking too close to me. Why do you have to be that close to somebody? There's plenty of room in the sidewalk. You can stand right over there. Man, I understood that nonsense. These are people being creepy. And you figure because, oh, they got a mic night. They got a microphone on there. You do mic nights? I think they do. Oh, I got some people who can sing. I'm bringing them by. Yo, you wanna work on that voice box? I got a place where they sing. I wonder what they're doing there. I'm gonna ask them to go past there. I said, what are y'all doing here? If they do singing and karaoke, heck yeah. I got some people that can take the roof down. I got some singers in my family, and I got some friends that are fantastic singers. I gotta bring them in. But anyway, so as I said before, you know, some people do some creepy stuff, and they get right up behind the back of you, and they figure that, oh, he can't. Please don't entertain those things. Somebody just, now if you're trying to turn around and look at you right in your face. Now you got a confrontation on your hands. And you got somebody right up in your face where you were too close to their spot. Went through that mess in COVID, man. And COVID literally picking up some stuff. And this guy was right in back of me, right over top of me. He was right past the marks. And she's like, oh, just let it go. I ain't gonna let it go. Turn around, got up in the face. Sorry, you ain't gonna hear that word. But y'all remember, that's my side of me. Don't back that up. Well, I'm sorry to know it was that close. You don't see that marker right there? I tell people in COVID, like, you don't see that marker right there? You can't stand on the marker. But she's so adorable. Yeah, go dark. She's so adorable. You don't see that marker right there? That's what that marker's for. When I gotta explain to you, a grown man, what a marker is for, and you're gonna look at me like you don't know? You mean to tell me all this televising on what's going on and what's happening, and you missed this for some reason? Oh, man. That's why I'm glad that the Lord protects me on that nonsense at the end of the day. Because one of the things people, you didn't see a lot of people doing in COVID was fighting. Because people are afraid to be around other people. People are scared of other people. That's why you didn't see a lot of people fighting people. But when you fight with your feet, you do martial arts. You fight with your feet. You don't got to get close to anybody. I can keep you at a distance. I can keep you at a distance away from me. My feet are longer than my hands. Comes out benefits. Thank God I didn't have to go through that nonsense. All right, people. We are now. We had to hit. We did the park. So we have to be a little farther in now. I'm gonna check when I get right to the corner. We're about to come up on that statue I showed you. All the men were out there. Let me see that statue real quick. Could have taken that part right down there. Oops, sorry, I'm getting on the right side. I was trained, like coming up, My mother had trained me that you always walk on the opposite side of a woman's pocketbook. That's what you're always on the opposite side. That's why I was raised. But some of the younger women don't know this tradition. And I'm sitting there like, pick a side, please. Pick a side. I don't want to walk on the side where your pocketbook's at because my mother always told me to walk on the opposite side of it. So, new ones don't know that one. Or, when you're walking with your lady friend, you're supposed to make sure you're on this side, she's on the inside. Because if the car jumps the curb, you're just going to get hit, she doesn't get hit. So there's that right there. Okay. I said thank you, sir. I don't know. Or something to him. But anyway. Alright, same car. I swear. Me and my sister see this car every day. This is a beautiful car over here. He's always changing the color of the car. All the time. I swear, people do some jacked up stuff. That guy gets points at the end of the day. The man out there with his family, he gets points at the end of the day. And I'll tell you why we give him points. So a young girl was sitting out there with a dog. She got a nice body. She's curved real nicely. And she's sitting right there where he's sitting down with his wife and his kids. And her butt is right directly in his path. And he just gets up and goes, you know what? I was just walking right past it. He says, come on, let's go. So he took his girl, his wife, and this kid and got in the car. That's what the guy's doing right now. Because he's a valet for that building. Why would you have to do that? To try to get that 10. So that's what I said about that power. Some of them use that power good. Some people use that power bad. If you're built like that, I wouldn't be standing in front of a man and his wife or anything like that. Like you're trying to show up to her like what he could get, and you, yeah. No reason for you to be standing there like that. Especially in front of a family. You got a dog, walk it. You should have been down here walking this same strip up and down here. And he just looked at her, he looked at me, he smiled like, whatever, I'm leaving. There you go, good points, my man, good points. Because some of these young women out here can't pay their bills. You can't pay your bills, you're struggling. Not to say it's a bad thing, but if you're doing things like that in life, you deserve to struggle. And you need to find yourself a sugar daddy. Somebody that you can hook up with and probably hold it over top of their head. A married man would be perfect for that due to the fact that you can control that situation because he has a wife. And therefore, you can get whatever you want out of that. Means your bills will get paid. But that's a good man right there. He just got him and left with his kids. I'm going, I'm out. All right. Oh, we got to walk the same strip here all the way down. Let's see what we got. I'm staying away from the puddle. See what we got on our meter, how much time we pulled in. Whoa! Yeah, we got 6,000. 6,000. Right now from that walk there, we got 6,225 steps. We easy going. We might be able to break the meter today. Meter only goes up to 24. I got to be around. This is my start off. I'm not even at the end of my point yet. This is going to be my start off. Hold on, let me see this. Let's see this. That's going to be my start off. My battery's going to die in this one. I'm trying to keep it low. Because, my cat likes to fight with my stuff. I don't know if you can see that. Let's go over here to some shade. Yeah, 6,252. So that's my start off right there. Heck yeah. You have any idea what we just hit? I'm doing that from now on. But if I can get that from there, that's going to be my routine. My routine is going to start from the FBI building, walk it all the way up, hit that part, loop that sucker, come back down. That's going to be my every day. Man. How many calories I just burnt right now? I burnt a ton of calories. I burnt a ton of calories. Man. And we start from the FBI building, go all the way up to 15th Street, 15th and Union, loop the park, and bring it back. Oh, we could definitely break the meter. I just found an easy way how to do it. Now, if I go down this way toward the museum. I go toward the museum and I go back up the side of that hill and cut up. Yeah, I definitely should be breaking the meter. Don't break my meter. Do 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 do. Do do do. I'm gonna show you where the statue's at. We're about to hit in a few minutes. Where all those men were sitting out there. So all this wasn't even here at all, period. I'm gonna go back and take a look how far in Allentown and see how much of these original buildings were actually here. Because you could tell which buildings were actually new and which ones have been here for a while. But how many buildings are still standing? I know one thing, I'm older than the library. The library was built in 1958. No. 1979. And I was born in 1968, so I'm older than the library. I'm an old dude. I've been there for centuries. Do 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 do. Yeah, no breakfast today, so we don't eat in the morning. I don't like to eat in the morning. So sluggish. It depends. Oh no, I did eat. I had candy. I don't know if that's food or not, but a couple pieces of candy. All right, we got a crowd of people coming this way, so we're definitely going to have to bring camera down. I'm not recording people at the end of the day. It's weird. Unless you get permission. Which I'm curious, did the guy just walk to Japan? How does he do that? Does he get consent if people just don't care? All right, people. Family came by. We had to go put the camera down for a minute. There's the statue right there. There was something else over there. There was some kind of like information booth on this side. Something, it's historical, but they moved it. Maybe they're going to basically hook it up. I don't know. We're supposed to get our trolley system back up here. Oh, that'd be epic. I remember the last time I was on a trolley. Remember my two friends, the bodybuilders, the giants, I call the giants. They went as for Ice Age. They did Ice Age, and they were the rhinos. Oh, it's hilarious. They're the rhino. They had a little flower on the chest. The buttercup was funny as I don't know what. All right, so that's it right there. That's what we saw over in the whatchamacallit, and what they had back there. And I can cross the words here. That's what we saw over on the plaque they had back there about the park. I'm gonna walk over there. And that's a tribute to the soldiers in World War I. Right there. So they were all, yep, Soldiers and Sailors Monument right there. So they were all, when they took the picture, when they first did this, they were all basically sitting right along here. Pretty cool, huh? And now from this era, we're here. That's what I like about history. That's beautiful. Oh, that's the booth right there. So if you look at some of the older, people walk past and don't even realize what that is. That was the information booth they had in the 1900s. It shows them some of the old pictures. You look at Allentown. Right there. Yep. So it's pretty interesting. get it, the link up history. See? Cool. See it here? Watch your link both there. It's a monument for the soldiers. What you know what's jacked up about it? Freaking the maggers were out there sitting there using that as a campaign post for Trump, a person who faked it when it came to serving in the military. Last place you need to be at is over there. I can't believe he had that military parade. That nonsense. This is a man who faked it because he's afraid to go serve. And for some people, they say, what about you? I messed up. I got a family full of military. I lost that opportunity because I wanted to go out in the streets and do dumb stuff. Should have stayed out of trouble. I turned 18, I would have been able to go in. Messed that opportunity up for myself. But I did find God in the process, so that's good. That's wonderful. But no, he faked it. He didn't want to go. And he had a nerve to sit there and do some freaking salute at the end of the day. What a freak you saluting to? All right, once we hit the FBI building, we'll be at over our mark where we need to be at. Actually, not true. That's my start point. That's what we're starting off with. This is our start off point. I still got a lot of places to go to right now. I got a bunch of places to go to right now. I got 10 to 11 places I got to walk to. Yeah! And I'm happy, excited, full of energy. That walk was easy. It was easy. I'm still charged. Only had like 3 pieces of candy. I spit the rest of it out because at the end of the day, I felt my adrenaline going up. I was like, nope, nope, nope. I got to taper it off because now I'll be shutting down and be tired. Man, that was a bad orange juice, man. I was thirsty for some orange juice. I was at the laundromat with my sister, and I waited a while to get the thirst to build up so it'd be so much better. And I get that orange juice, it was disgusting. It was burning the back of my throat. So that's how I know it's bad. Whew, that's what gave me the stomachache this morning. That's why I said I had a bad stomachache. And I prayed on it, and it's gone. Don't have it. That's why I put my trust in God. Yep. Anything I pray over, the Lord takes care of it. That's the only way to live, people. Only way to live is through Jesus. See all this craziness in this world? It all looks normal, don't it? If you knew, if you could see the undercoat of it all, you'd never leave your house. Heck, you wouldn't even want to be in your house. You'd want to be in a church somewhere. You'd be scared to death to walk out that door. But they see me. They see me out here walking around. They know at the end of the day, they got an army of angels behind me. They don't come near me. We serve God. I wonder what they're having in the park. They're always having something out here. I bump into a lot of little parties they have out here. And they're free to come and eat food, chill. Allentown's a great community. That is pretty cool up there. Got me Batman vibes off there. The kiosk machine. Kiosk machine. All right. Now it's the FBI building. You all know. Post office, courthouse, records, city hall, police station, prisons on that side. Boy, you can be processing here in no time at all. Like no time. I saw it, I was like, geez, it's a fast process. Bum, 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 bum. Let's see what time we got here, people. Let's see what we got here. So we start our walk off with what? Let's see, we got the walk starting off with, because I got stuff to do today. I'm going to go back and get some more push-ups. And it's 10 o'clock, so I've been walking for quite some time. Okay, there's some brightness on this thing. Brightness, brightness, brightness. There it is. Come on, behave. Get in there. All right, people, we're starting our day off with 7,178 steps. That's what we're starting. It's the day start. That's what we start off with. That walk we just did, that's just a prelude. That's just a little exercise. That's all that is. We still got a lot of walking around. So I get up in the morning and I get that walk in. If we don't have any snow or rain, we get that workout in. And then when we're done that, then we start our day. My day is the majority of me walking around, taking care of this and taking care of that. Now, we don't put that on recording because, again, I told you we had a person by the name of Daniel McAfee and Jamie Fernando Gonzalez, another person named Derek Franklin Williams III. Yeah, I'll put you on blast on my channel because you did that nonsense, and I got the stuff to back it up. So if you ever sit there and say, hey, I'm going to get him for defamation for what? For what? We're taking you to court for that because you stalked me as I went from store to store in places showing people what we did on Allentown, and you sent these people letters and stuff trying to make me look bad. So I'll see you in court. That's that right there. Ironically, from the FBI building, because that's where they ended up at the FBI building, because there were cyber crimes. Oh yeah, and over there. So yeah. But anyway, so your name is going to get mentioned all the time for what you did. And once I get you in court, and we win those cases, which we will, and I get you thrown in jail, I'm going to go in and take public records and post them so everybody can read, your friends, your family, all of them, so they can know about your activities. Because you don't get that privilege. You don't get to go out and commit crimes and think you're going to hide in the dark and no one's going to know about it. No, I'm going to let everybody see it and everybody know it. You proud of what you do? I'm going to let you be proud of what you do, but you're going to be embarrassed by it. While you sit there in the court systems, you deal with it. But for right now, I'm going to mention your names on camera. And get angry and get bitter all you want. That's just more evidence for me to put you in there for even longer. So with that being said, if you didn't do what you did to begin with, you wouldn't be put on blast like that, right? Okay. They got to fix that God light over there, too. I want to take donations for that. That's expensive to put those lights in. So I wanted to take in donations for that. I dropped some money over there. Wanted to say God loved you. All right, people, with that being said, hope you enjoy your time we had out here. And again, do I hate these individuals? No, we don't hate them at all. But it was wrong for what you did, and you have to pay for what you did. I did stuff in time. I paid for my stuff in time. Now it's your turn. Man up. All right, got to go, and God bless.